A couple of songs. I think because of a breakup that I went through and because of the health condition, I think there was a lot that I wasn't being able to be honest about. Especially on complexes, I talk a lot about the insecurities I felt in this past relationship, and also the problems I felt that were caused by my partner at the time. So I guess it's a little bit of an attack in a way, but it's also me venting. So those are the things I guess that I felt never got through to him. And of course with the ocean and with bathwater, there were things I couldn't talk about with anyone. It just seemed like nobody understood. And I've never understood that concept, because I always sort of say to our fans, you know, you're not alone, there's people experiencing the same thing. And for the first time in my life, I was in that position where I felt like nobody understood me. I think for the first time I gave myself a chance to grow with what he's so scared of. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even know how to warm up my voice. I didn't know what I was capable of. I didn't know what I was good at. I think I was just singing words and melodies, and it still meant something to me at the time, but there was no real skill to it. So with this album, The Other Side, I saw a vocal coach, and I took all my songs and, you know, all my melodies to her to help me get the best out of them. So I guess in a way I gave myself a chance to be a better singer. Personally, for me in the band, I think my biggest insecurity that I had to work on was, you know, sort of physical appearance. And a lot of people, it's easy to say, oh, don't say that, you're silly, and people try to make you feel better, and I'm guilty of it too, constantly saying it to other people who have insecurities, but it's really such a personal journey, and you kind of have to look after yourself and embrace, you know, your qualities and make the best of them. So I think a lot of it was being afraid to be in front of people and be judged, and every time that I have to ask myself, what am I so scared of in a situation, it's always of someone else's opinion. And accepting that was something I still have to do every day, even though that album was written like years ago. I think if there's anything I do that I wish I didn't is I feel that my personality changes from time to time, not by choice, but sometimes I find myself in a position where I feel intimidated and I can't control myself in that situation. I'm sitting there and I'm timid and shy and I stutter and I can't articulate, and it happens a lot in interviews actually. So it's kind of like I'm so confident on stage and I enjoy it so much, but I can fall apart so quickly, and that's something I'm really trying to get my hands on top of. Sometimes there's moments on stage, which happened recently in Brighton and also in the Netherlands. We played at Eindhoven, and that was shows that blew us away because we hardly know what to expect, and we never set our sights too high in terms of shows. Like, we always have high standards and we work hard, but we don't expect huge crowds or crazy atmospheres. So when they do happen, it's just like so uplifting. I just remember being on stage in Brighton the other day, and it's just like this full room that we've supported a band in before, but we got to sell it out this time around, and I guess it's like a full circle moment. Wow, that's a cool question. I think everything sort of seems to be moving up these days with The Other Side out. Everywhere we go, the shows are bigger and better. We're being recognised internationally a lot more than we ever have, and that was kind of one of our biggest goals starting out. We always wanted to be an international band. We didn't want to be a local band forever. So I guess I'm kind of living in the moment right now and appreciating what we have. I can't ask for more at this point. I think going through my sickness was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, because as I've said in the past, it was obviously physically debilitating, but mentally and emotionally so draining, and it made me see a side of myself I didn't like, and I was weak and fragile, and I hated that. I never wanted to be that kind of person. I always have tried to, you know, exert kind of like a powerful aura in a way. I don't want to overpower people, I just want to feel confident in myself, and that completely took that away from me for a little while. I've got it back now, but it took a while to get there. I think every day is kind of a fight with the band, just to push on. Early on, I think we were trying to break a lot of boundaries. It was sort of firstly the female fronted thing, like, who are you trying to be, what are you trying to sound like, and it's like, well, not, it was kind of just about embracing who we were and what we sounded like, and breaking down those walls of the comparisons. And then there was also the Australian barrier. It's like, you know, who are you, what are you trying to do, and, you know, we've kind of never taken money from the band. It's always been about putting it back in. We've never made money, and we pay all the people we work with, but we don't get paid. So it's kind of like we've always made it a priority to break out and go overseas, and I guess that's been a big fight. I guess being able to live off it is the biggest struggle, but I see that happening in the future. I'm looking forward to it. It's cool that you asked that, because I actually feel a really strong connection to Alanis Morissette. And I know it sounds a bit daggy and a little bit weird, but we're born on the same day, and I feel really connected to being a Gemini. And when I learnt, I kind of already could hear through her lyrics. I was like, God, that's exactly how I've felt in the past, and that's how I would have said it. And when I learned that her birthday was the 1st of June, I was like, oh my God, it makes sense in a way. When I learned about my horoscope and my star sign, I felt like I understood myself for the first time. I always was asking questions, and then I don't know, I just feel really true to my star sign, which a lot of people think is mumbo jumbo, but I don't. So, Alanis Morissette. I think high school was the first time I really felt like I had a reason to sing and to write music, because I needed to vent. Again, it was like about not understanding myself, and that's when I make sense of things, is when I write lyrics. So I guess I started when I was about 12, but it was really 13, 14, 15 where I realised that it was the most therapeutic thing I'd ever done for myself. I think a lot of the time we have to leave behind our conscience. Like, obviously you have to be aware of everything that's going on, but for me, the more I think about things, the more complicated it becomes, and I wind myself up. And as I talked about those insecurity things before, sometimes when I stand in front of the mirror before I go on stage, I just talk myself down so much, and it's just such a pain in the ass to have that. I feel like I've got such a split personality. It's like this angel and the devil, and the devil's just like cutting you down. You just have to do this. I think that's as I said to you before, it's like I work through every day, but a lot of that's in the past now. If I had more time, I think I'd like to appreciate the relationships that I have with people at home, my family and friends. I have a blast on the road, but I think, yeah, if I had more time, I like to take my sisters out places, see my girlfriends more often, spend time with my parents, go away camping with my dad, go on a holiday with my mum. I don't know, there's just little things that right now I don't have the time for, and whenever we are home, we're still busy. Recently we had a week off at home and it just flies. So I think, yeah, if I had more time, I'd be giving it to the people I love.